taking care of the properties. We so do ordain, etc., and so forth. Have you got a copy of the Constitution?
Yes, upstairs, but not here.
Did somebody get it?
Well, I guess we can get it if we want it. Nancy's going to get it.
I had one in Detroit, but I didn't think I had to bring it all the way with me. I thought I could find one here somewhere.
Can we get a copy of the Constitution upstairs?
Yes, one of our staff is going to get it. Mr. Myers thinks he can be...
Somebody forgot about good old George and his crew.
Yeah,
A lot of men have paid a tremendous price. A lot of men, women too. Look like to me, our modern day society seems to think in terms of self.
Can't hear everything he's saying, I'm sorry.
When I say our modern day society, I'm referring to our governing body of society. The ones that make those governing, idiotic, decisive decisions that the rest have to suffer.
Mr. Tillman, could we move on to some of the other questions?
I would just like to give you a few examples on how this bill is being used in Los Angeles. Social workers are already threatening and harassing their clients by telling them to go to work, and if they don't, this bill that is supposed to come into effect on July 1st, this is causing mental anguish to their clients, and social workers are already bad enough without using this type of harassment.
Well, this is unfortunate, and I certainly share your concern. I think this is not the way to behave. I hope that this isn't a general thing.
This is the way they do behave. I go on and I talk to the director, and when I finally do get him, he's all apologetic, but it's still being used. There are people up there in Los Angeles that are eligible for welfare, and they are still not getting any checks at all. They are kept on food orders alone. I know that this is a way of them using this bill. That's all I'd like to say. Thanks.
Thank you. Ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
Now, what is our posterity? What does that mean?
People that come after us.
People that do what?
Come after us.
Come after you?
Yeah, they said for ourselves and our posterity. That means our children and our grandchildren and so forth.
Thank you.
Right?
Now, how did the welfare recipients, as you said, being in a, shall we say, a duress manner, forced to take birth control pills?
Would you say that again?
Yes, I sure will. I said, under those statutes of what you just read pertaining to the Constitution of the United States of America, how did the welfare department, under duress circumstances, force a welfare recipient to take birth control pills?
Oh, well, I hope that no welfare department is forcing anybody.
You hope?
Yes.
You better get in the car and do some traveling.
Well, maybe so.
They may not be doing it here in Washington, D.C., but it's going on in Detroit, where I just come from.
Now, let me read you what the law says about this.
You just read the law. The law of the land.
Wait a minute, please. The welfare law that was just passed, that we're all discussing now, in connection with birth control or family planning services as they describe it, and this is what we're committed to enforce, that the acceptance by such child, relative, or individual of family planning services provided under the plan shall be voluntary. Now, and they shall not be a prerequisite to eligibility for or the receipt of any other service or aid under the plan.
Well, what is prerequisite?
That means that they cannot be forced by anybody.
But if they have another baby, they will cut them off.
Nobody ever says that.
You keep getting out them birth control pills, you're going to run out of soldiers. And what you going to do about your sisters? You know, it ain't but one race, and that's the human race. There's 7 different tribes pertaining to it. I know you might not want to swallow that, but that's a bitter pill. That means that I'm your brother. Or maybe your cousin. I might be young. I'm in there somewhere.
Well, I would hope that if any of you or your associates or neighbors have evidence of any compulsory
I took great pains to say it in the beginning, under duress circumstances, not compulsory. That's a difference.
Well, duress, it's the same as far as I'm concerned. We had one...
As far as you're concerned,
compulsory...
a few minutes ago, you didn't know it existed from what you stated.
I don't quite understand you.
I'm not necessarily and specifically putting the burden on your shoulder. I just want you to start doing something about it.
Doing something.
You're in a decisive position to do something about it. Silence in my book is condoned, especially when the job is yours.
Ms. Switzer, does not this new welfare law actually encourage the states to and require the states to establish birth control programs?
Yes, the law does encourage the development and more general availability of birth control, family planning services, if you will. But it does, I think, also make clear that such services must be under medical supervision. There is also a clear mandate that where this program wants to cut down the number of children born out of wedlock, particularly to young teenagers, and I'm sure none of us would disagree with trying to improve this situation, keeping young teenagers in school and better able to deal with their own problems. Now, I think that there's a difference between having services available and making clear to anyone that they may take these services, they may learn about them, and if they wish to use them, they must be provided for them, and making this a condition of receiving assistance, because making this a condition of receiving assistance is illegal. This is clear.
Right. The theme of this campaign, this Poor People's Campaign, is that everybody's got a right to live. And everybody's got a right to a living and a right to an income, a right to a job, or a right to an income if you don't have a job. One of the ways that as you know, the National Welfare Rights Organization has been pursuing this is to get all the people